Okay, so we know what is happening in Pasir Gudang right now. There is a crisis happening. There has been toxic waste being dumped illegally into the river, and it has affected the entire area of Pasir Gudang and the Johor area. And as of now, 111 schools have already been shut down. More than 200 students and teachers have been warded into hospitals being treated for toxic poisoning. There is even talk that emergency could be declared in that area. What is very, very concerning right now is the fact that I and my wife Cheryl, we've been pursuing a story about illegal rubbish dumping that has been happening in Malaysia. Apparently, Malaysia has become the dumping ground of the world, where they dispose of their waste, and Malaysia has decided to take on this waste and process it and recycle it. But what has been happening is that all these waste, when they come in, we've got illegal factories that are supposed to process this waste, but they are not processing it the way it should be processed. What is happening is they're actually just gathering all this plastic waste and just either dumping it illegally all around the country, specifically right now in the areas of Jenjarum and Klang, Pulau Indah in Klang, or either that, or they're just burning them openly, and these toxic fumes are poisoning people. In the Jenjarum area, this has been in the news for some time. The Jenjarum area, people have been coughing and been getting a lot of sickness and diseases because of the toxic fumes. Same with the Klang. I live with my family, my wife and kids in Kota Kemuning, which is quite near Jenjarum as well, and Klang, and at night we get the fumes too, and we shut our windows, we shut our doors, because it can get pretty too much, right? And pursuing this story, we found out that the government has been doing the raids, because after a lot of complaints from the locals, the government has taken action and closed some of these illegal factories. But what is happening now, these illegal factories, they have a lot of excess waste, which they are now supposed to clear up. But they're also actually illegally clearing it, and they're bringing it and dumping it into places where they're not supposed to be dumping it. They're going as far as Ipoh, as far as Kedah, and yes, Pasir Gudang in Johor. That is one of the spots as well where they are illegally dumping all these unwanted waste. And so I think this is apt that we do this story. For this story, I spoke to Greenpeace, who actually came up with the first report about how Malaysia is becoming a dumping ground. I visit Jenjarum, spoke to the local activists there who are fighting the cause, and I went to Pulau Indah myself to take a look at what's happening. And in Pulau Indah, it's even worse, because the burning of waste is still going on just right there in the streets. So yeah, just watch what I've shot. Okay, so we are in Pulau Indah right now. And you can actually see that they are still openly burning the rubbish, right? Which actually shouldn't be happening right now, because it's supposed to be illegal. Yeah, and they're just dumping it here. It's an industrial area, but very nearby it's just residential areas and people are living here. So yeah, look at that. And I'm actually stepping in dust.
So this is the data that we received from like Departments of National Solid Waste Management, Jabatan Pengurusan Sisa Pekerjaan Negara. So from from last year, January to July 2018, 7th month, like this is the waste that they have imported. That you can see mostly are like high income or developed country like United States, Japan, UK, Germany, Australia, Spain, like France, and so on.
So these countries will export their waste.
Yep, they export to Malaysia.
And Malaysia is the one that processes it lah.
And this is the data from Malaysia government.
Okay.
And then during our investigations, we found that there are more than 19 countries. In our investigations, we found more after that. So in our like 1 month investigations, there are more than 19 countries. they export their plastic waste to Malaysia.
I see. Plastic waste. So it's spot after spot. There are already like a handful of spots that I've been to in Pulau Indah where they're just big dumps of plastic waste everywhere. It's crazy. I hear people. I don't know what they're doing. I hope they don't find me. Because apparently there are thugs who chase people away, who try to like take photos and videos and all that. So right now we are at an abandoned, former illegal plastic waste processing factory, I guess, in Sungai Rambai in Jenjarom, and they've been shut down by the government, but they still got a lot of rubbish and plastic trash here that hasn't been cleared, and apparently these are all being dumped illegally elsewhere now.
Dia kalau buat bangunan dia akan runtuh kerana dia bawah dia
Semua sampah.
semua sampah. Kerana dia korek 3 meter tau. So jadi dia tak rapat kerana dia punya ni jatuh tau.
Yalah.
Hampir ya. So how dia korek sikit tu dia sekarang atas dia letak tanah saja. So jadi kalau ada building akan
Yalah.
tak balance, dia akan runtuh. Kalau tanam tak boleh. I see this is rubbish. They're just covered by this red soil.
With red soil.
You see how high of this plastic waste meter, right?
Yeah.
1 to 2 meter, right? So they are thinking just put red soil on the top of it. Is it mean clear already? It's mean clear already. Tengok berjenis-jenis berjenis-jenis waste. Ni semua makanan animal.
Bukan Malaysian.
Bukan. Okay, we find some rubbish now with the country origin. You should take this one. Ada yang ini kerana dia campur tanah, dia kotor sikit. Dulu kami datang, senang kami boleh cepat kerana dia ya, ini Germany punya.
Germany.
Germany dia. Tengok Germany punya. Ni tak tahu. Tahu lah ni. Mana satu country? I believe.
UK.
Yeah.
I think so. Macam mana masalah ni sebenarnya you notice dekat Jenjarum ni?
Initially we rasa udara sangat teruk lah, especially malam tau. So kami buat siasatan lah, baru tahu banyak kirang haram jenis ini lah, plastik yang datangnya dari overseas kan, mereka berebut, okay, keluarkan asap yang sangat kotor, sangat racun. Selain daripada itu, waste yang tidak boleh recycle, mereka pun pernah nampak lah di belakang mereka bakar saja. Ataupun ada unknown punya plastik waste, tak tahu datang dari mana, siapa yang buang di macam dalam itu kelapa sawit punya estate, bakar saja. So teruk lah pada masa tu. So jadi kami buat siasatan, baru tahu ada banyak kirang yang jenis ni yang haram, yang kebanyakan dioperasi oleh orang Cina. Di sini mereka keluarkan air yang kotor dan udara yang sangat teruk lah. Tak ada ikut undang-undang lah. Macam kami tak ada undang-undang lah. Dan ini bukannya satu hari satu tahun lah. Ini sudah berapa tahun lah actually kirang ini berada. Hanya since last year 2018, wah dia mushrooming tau. Mungkin kerana itu masalah poklang di sana, mungkin tempat sudah sangat mahal, sudah tak cukup tau. So demand lagi tinggi, so jadi mereka move kat Jenjarum lah, kami dengar dia macam ni. Sekarang kami tidak faham tau kenapa government boleh biarkan orang punya sampah masuk ke negara kami tau. Dan sekarang kami berharap that government can look into this problem seriously. We should not encourage import of plastic waste. Kalau kirang jenis ini begitu lumayan, begitu bagus, kami nak tanya kenapa China nak ban? Dia sepatutnya continue, tak ada masalah kirang jenis ini kepada alam sekitar. Tapi the real is bukan. China kenapa mereka nak ban? Kerana masalah pencemaran yang teruk dari air dan udara, dari kirang-kirang jenis ini, dari industri ini.
Then in Jenjarum, these are all illegal.
Illegal.
So diorang tak ikut SOP lah.
Memang mana ada SOP. Mereka buang saja, bakar saja. Mereka tengok mana ada ikut undang-undang. Pekerja-pekerja sini pendengar ada banyak masalah kesihatan. Ya.
Orang the locals Jenjarum, diorang sakit tak? You sendiri?
Saya sendiri, saya selalu batuk, susah nak macam sembuh dan ada masanya selalu letih lah. Dan kawan-kawan saya ataupun family saya ada banyak jatuh sakit kerana masalah kerongkong. Susah pernafasan, ada yang allergic, mata dia merah, kulit dia itching, macam ni. Nah, ada yang dia batuk sampai keluar darah, dia kena masuk hospital, dan ada yang itu cancer rate lah. Recently we found ada tinggi tau, 4 to 5 times tinggi, kerana cancer patient increase a lot recently, especially last year.
China imposed a ban, and then what is happening with their business over there?
Oh, they're also like Chinese, the mainland Chinese recycle. That means they shift their business to Malaysia.
Because they can't do business there anymore.
I will say that's why they're also like bringing their practice for example, like to process, and then for plastic that cannot be recycled, they just burn it.
Because that's what they do in China.
Yeah.
And then these people, they set up waste management, I guess factories, is it? Do you call it factories?
Yep.
Here in Malaysia.
Yep.
And then they do this illegal practice.
So that's why for illegal practice, now the government also start to take actions against them.
Tapi kami dapat tahu tau, actually kirang ni dia bukannya ditutup saja, tapi mereka actually tak hilang tau. Dia masih ada di sini, hanya mereka pindah ke tempat lain saja. Kami dengar Semenyi Nilai lah, Rawang, Johor, Perak, Kedah, semua mereka pergi.
So all these sampah-sampah ni akan dibawa ke tempat lain?
Okay, ini non-recyclable. So sekarang masalah macam mana settle this? Macam mana nak buang waste ini? Kalau legal landfill, mereka sepatutnya legal landfill lah. Tapi ikut maklumat yang kami dapat, dia bukan pergi legal punya tau. Dia pergi haram punya. Macam Ipoh lah, Lukut lah, Johor lah, macam ni. So ada proof tak? ada pemantauan tak? Ini kami nak tanya. Berharap janganlah pencemaran di sini hanya diselesaikan surface saja, macam dia sudah hilang. Tapi actually keracunan ini, masalah ini pergi state lain. Ini tak betul. Kami sepatutnya Selangor pun juga ada satu SOP atau sistem mengawal sisa-sisa pepecah plastik yang lengkap. Dia boleh macam clear sahaja. Clear senang. Pergi mana? Siapa is the next victim? Tak boleh kan? This is our country. We should have a proper way to control and also to take care of our environment. Not this way. And now the door for still open for plastic waste, right? So even though you say clean plastic waste can come in, but how you guarantee? Because we really have a very bad record. That's why we threw the word dumping sign, you know. Who make this happen? I want to ask our government, not now one, X one also. Who's responsible for this? Who? Kena ada satu orang berdiri di sana. Baru boleh. This is all bottles. Correct. Yang dari Saint Juan. Mana tempat ni Saint Juan. Oh, Puerto Rico.
Wow.
USA, printed in USA.
Puerto Rico.
Hi.
Malaysia is supposed to be importing this to be processed.
Oh yeah.
And why isn't the Malaysian government who is importing this processing it properly?
I will say when this it happens when how to say, the container came with the mixed plastic. The plastic waste, some plastic can be recycled and some cannot be recycled. For those like some plastic cannot be recycled, they will just dump it in all this area.
And this is illegal dumping, basically.
Yeah.
Can they send it back to where it came from?
Oh, this is good questions. We should understand.
Because these countries that are exporting it, they are doing something wrong by giving plastic that cannot be processed, right?
Yeah. That's why it looks like a scandal. Like a lot of international media, they are quite shocked when they read all these reports, because it looked like, especially those like high income country or developed country, they claim themselves they are clean, they protect environment, but actually they are stripping their product, they're stripping their waste to other country like Malaysia.
Right.